Whoa, stick around. Let's see what kind of mess I got for you in this video. Alright, it is Friday, almost noon, and I'm done with work. Hours are in. Let's get some of this stuff knocked off, starting with here. I got the head gasket left. Set the variator belts to the right size. What did I say? Head gasket, variator belt, and tires. Switch the tires up. So I took this head gasket off because of this right here. All that oil right there, right? And look at that head gasket. Do you think she was shot? Oh, she was cooked. All right, we got the block all cleaned up. Head's all cleaned up. I put a file on it. I don't have a flat surface to run sandpaper on it. And it's just a little high right there. So I worked that area, crisscrossed it all over. Make sure there's nothing really super duper high. Good enough for this thing. Let's put her back together now. All right, head gasket's done. Now I just gotta find a tray that goes in, a tin that goes on top to keep the air flowing through. And that's done. All right, happy Tuesday. Let's see here. Gotta make supper tonight. Got home early from work, so here we got it. Making a stuffed meatloaf. 2 pounds of hamburger. I got 2 eggs, Italian breadcrumbs to hold it together. Ketchup, mustard, Worcestershire sauce, and burger meat. And I'm stuffing with fried onions and mushrooms. And I got some other mushrooms left over for the gravy. So I don't know if I'm gonna end up with a gravy or what, but here goes nothing. So I put the onions on there, mushrooms. I just warm them up a little bit. I didn't cook the hell out of them. I just don't want them raw when they come out. Here I got a little bacon grease. A little bacon grease on there. That's right, bacon grease. You just watch. You never know what you're missing until you try it. Alright, that's all I want is a little bit. Alright, show you what's next. Alright, fold over the aluminum. Like so. I'll fold my ends in. Alright, so I got it all folded in, but obviously you can see it's not going to fit in my pan. So I got to make it a little bit smaller, and in the pan it goes. Alright, gave her a quick flip, and she's in the pan. And I'm going to put my mushrooms in, and I got to figure out my gravy. I put some steak seasoning on top. And I'm not going to lie, I dropped my phone in the goddamn meat right there. I had to fix it. It went flying off my hand and into the meat. And I get to have the wife stop it. Ooh, obviously the camera's dirty yet from the meat. Hey, there you go. So anyways, I'm gonna get some beef broth and I'll have to figure out the gravy. Or I'll say piss on the gravy. I don't know. See what happens. Well, I think I need a new glass in this thing. And after all that time of sandblasting, which has probably been an hour, the hose is even hot from running the sand. And there that part is. It's not the best. And that part barely fit inside there. So, yeah, we'll get her sanded up a little bit more now. And obviously can't paint today. It's raining. But getting closer. Well, the adjuster was my biggest bear. I had to heat that up glowing red to get that to let go. And I just bumped it with my finger. And you can't see, I can't turn my wrist that way, but smoked that thing so fast. Whew. All right, into the sandblaster these go. Well, I got everything all cleaned up. And I started painting and it started sprinkling again, so I had to quit. So that's it for now. Let this shit dry because I can't spray in here because everything will get all full of paint. So that's where we're at right now. Get them parts are done and dry, ready to go back together. So it should look good when it's done. Alright, happy Wednesday. Just put another coat of paint on it. I forgot where I left off, so I thought I'd better update you. And this is all done. I like that, looks good. It's not perfect, which makes it look like it's, well, used. So yeah, I ordered my decals for the side of it, John Deere, and that's where I'm at. I gotta wait for it to dry and I'll start putting it together. And I'll show you when it's all done. Alright, good morning. Working on the 110 here. On this one here, where the variator will not variate, will not go very fast, it goes really slow. So I pulled out the variator and I'll show you what is going on. Well, actually I'll explain it to you. So as you read on people's chats, some people put double springs on it because the variator ain't going very fast. Well, that's probably because this part here is tight. So I pulled mine off and I'll show you what I got going on here. So here's the variator. So this shaft here is tight and it won't let it swivel. So you're swiveling off of that real tight and it won't let it move. So some people put double springs on it, which will make it move. Will it work? Probably, but it's not right. So I'm gonna pull this off, clean it up, re-grease it, because there's a grease zert on it. There's a grease zert, but it probably hasn't seen grease in forever. So, and then I'll put a little grease on the sheave, so that slides back and forth nice. And the fun part's gonna be getting it back in the tractor. And yeah, it is so stuck in there, it is unreal. It's coming, but it is. Look at the socket ready. Alright, after beating the heck out of it, here's that socket. You can tell, obviously it ain't a great socket, but yeah, she's mushroomed over pretty good. And I got a little bit more to go to get it out, and you can see how rusty it was in there. Alright, I got the pin cleaned up. Now I got to clean out the shaft here. So what I'm going to do is probably wrap sandpaper around this and run it down through there. Well, that didn't work so hot with that hard sandpaper. You see, get it all cleaned out now. And there you go, now it slides again. Alright, let's put it back together. I had to test the grease zert, make sure that was good. As you can see, the grease zert is pumping grease, so alright, let's throw it back together. Alright, I got her all back together. And I got my string on here to run it up through the console so I can pull it back up. And yeah, that's it. Now the fun part, to figure out how to get it back in there. Because obviously I need two people. Debbie! Alright, we're on a ride today, heading down to Woodstock, Illinois. And I got the car out and we're going to pound some miles on it. And hopefully we don't have any issues. Right now we're about halfway down to Woodstock and everything is good. Is my wife good too?
Yeah, 1 hour to go.
Alright, happy Sunday morning. The ride went pretty good. Nothing broke, but I did run into a small problem where my gauges, my lights went on my gauges, my tach stopped working, my radio stopped working, and etc. And there's one more other thing on there, I can't remember what it is. And this is what it is. So here's my little fuse box that I put in the car extra. So obviously the line lock ain't working, which I didn't care about because I wasn't using it. Air fuel wasn't working, which that was not, and the voltage gauge was not working. So I lost power to this fuse box, which is right there. I don't know if you can see it. I assume you can, because I can't. Alright, so I need to double check that and see what went wrong. Alright, I found my problem. Pretty simple, thank God. So, thank you. So anyways, I had, well, can you see it? Alright, my phone is really dirty, but whatever. So anyways, luckily it was easy. Let me flip this around here. Well, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because I can't see the phone when I do this, but obviously I told you there's my fuse box, my added fuse box for them few things. And luckily right there's my fuse, and I got it plugged into the fuse box. But I had it up here on this one, which is the blower motor. I never ran the blower motor until last night. So with all that stuff on the blower motor, it was too much on a 10 amp fuse, so it popped the fuse. So I moved it down here, which says it's nothing but a brake alarm and a backup lights. Well, my backup lights ain't working, so I put it on that one. See how that goes. And that is also a 10 amp. So if I got a problem, at least I know what it is. That takes care of that part. I just got to vacuum the car up and clean her up. And the other problem I had is when I really got on it, is I ran out of fuel in 4th gear. So I have to check my receipt and see how many gallons per minute that fuel pump is down there. And change it out for a higher volume, or I'll have to go electric. I hope I don't have to go electric, but you can't have it doing what's doing there. It ran out of fuel bad, and I mean bad. All right, happy Friday. Let me flip this around. I got my decals for my plow. Got them on. That turned out good. So that is done. That is ready to go on the 4020 project. Now I got to get on that. But right now, we're going to get in the garage cleaned up, and you don't want to see that, but do you think it needs it? I do. So after that, we'll get to making some kind of content, whether it be that window. Oh, that ain't a window, that's a window. Or something. NASA, we have a problem. Alright, happy Tuesday afternoon. I got my MSD box in. I didn't video record that. That was just plug and play. But it wouldn't fire up. And of course I had to go through all the testing, make sure I had all my wiring right, which I did, thank God. And then I had to check voltage. I just called Holly, told me a couple other things to check. And then I called back and said, yeah, it's got this and that, and the crank voltage was high enough to fire it. And I says, well, how do I check the distributor? He said, well, that's easy enough, between 300 and 700 ohms. Check that, overload, dead short. So now I am pulling the distributor so I can order a new part. That's where I'm at with this thing. Oh, what fun. Well, I got the pickup out. Yeah, let's show you this. So, see that crack in there? Right there. I don't think that's supposed to be in there, and I think shit got in there and shorted it out. Alright, let's order a new one. Alright, I got the distributor cleaned up. I got the, I don't even know what it's called, reluctor pickup. I'm not even sure this thing here. Anyways, I got it all cleaned up, got all the rust off of it. I'm going to put a light coat of silver paint on it because the silver dries fast, and it's, I think, just seems like it's a really thin coat of paint. So, I asked Holly if I can paint it. She says, yep, won't be a problem because it's a magnetic pickup anyway. Alright, so I'll get a coat of paint on here and show you what it looks like. Oh, a little bright on that side, so I guess I'll come on this side. Oh, no, that screws up the lens. Anyways, I got her painted up and painted with silver because I wasn't going to open up a brand new can of paint just so I can gum it up with paint. And this is chrome, which is basically the same shit. It'll dry fast. See, I'm touching it here, it's dry already. I just walked in with it. So anyways, once that gets dry, I'll let it sit a little bit. Take tape off it, and I'll run a little paint on the back side of it. Just to make sure that's good and covered, and that should help keep the rust off of it for another 20 years. Alrighty. Alright, now I got the top all taped off. I'm ready to put a little coat of paint on there. That wasn't that bad compared to the reluctor pickup there. I'll have to look up what that's called. But anyways, something reluctor, I can't remember. So I'll get that a touch of paint on that, and that'll be done. Alright, unlike the silver, the black will take a little bit longer to dry. So I got that touched up. Let that dry and I'll take the tape off. Alright, next day. Got the tape all off. And this is what it looks like. Turned out pretty good. So, just waiting for my parts to come in on Friday. Get it back together and get it in the car. Jake, what do you think? Huh? What do you think? Oh, what's that? What is that? What is that? Huh? What is that? Is that a new gun? Huh? Is that a new gun to play with? All right. Well, take two. Good morning. Happy Saturday morning. The wife let the dog out. It threw me off, and I couldn't think what the hell I was going to say next. So let's record this again. Anyways, good morning. And I got my parts for the distributor. Let me flip this around. I got the magnetic pickup in, siliconed in. Got the gap set at 20 thousandths. Supposed to be 1831 or something like that. And I got the cap measured. I don't know if you guys know that, but you are supposed to measure the cap to make sure the prong is at the right height. So, just FYI. That's it. Let's get it thrown in the car and hopefully it works. Alright, we got the distributor dropped in. I remember exactly where it was, so it was a piece of cake. Now you drop some dielectric grease into the terminals and plug the wires in. Well, I went to go key it over and it didn't start. And I was like, son of a bitch. And then I remembered, helps to plug it in. Alright, timing's a little off. Yeah, give her a tweak. I went the wrong way with the distributor first time, so hopefully getting closer now. And it's cold-blooded, so we'll get her. That ignition was going out because 1 and 2 were running cold on cylinder temperature, on exhaust temperature, and now I don't have 2 dead cylinders anymore. Sounds pretty good now. Alright, took it for test drive, seems to run fine. Timing's at 37.5. Give it a quick bath. Now I gotta jump in the shower and we gotta go to a ride today. Sounds like 40 cars are in it and 50 people afterwards. So hopefully everything's good with the Camaro. I'm gonna jump in the shower and hopefully I'll video some stuff for you later. Running really good. Here's some pictures of all the people's cars to the car ride I went to, which was a really great time. Alright, happy Tuesday afternoon, night, whatever you want to call it. Late afternoon, whatever. Anyways, I have no idea where I left off, so I'm going to guess. Alright, got the MSD box in, I got the distributor dropped in, which I think I told you. Got all wiring all in, but I do not like the wiring right there. That looks like shit. But I want to put the heater box back in, so I guess I'll fix it then. But other than that, car ran great. Yeah, that's it. Car ran great. I literally made it to the We made it like within 5 minutes late. I'd getting the car washed up, getting it done, getting it put back together. Gave it a quick bath, like a really quick bath. And I only did one good burnout. And yeah, so yeah, one good burnout, that was it. After that, it was like shortly after that, we're at Ann's Farmington Inn. Oops, sorry, I get you dizzy. Ann's Farmington Inn, and it hailed 3 times. I shit you not. I was in the bar, Brad was out on the porch, on their patio, whatever you want to call it, steps going into the place, and yeah, he said it hailed 3 times. Luckily, all pea-sized, nothing that damaged any cars, so that part was good. Alright, so, got that tied up. I am jumping onto the snowblower, my garden tractor for the year. I already got that. Oop, let me flip this around. Already got that hooked up way earlier than it should be, but I wanted to put paddles on the center of the blower. So let me walk over there. Let me zoom in for you. So yeah, I want to put paddles right there. So I found some heavy duty rubber on Amazon, and I think it looks like it's 3/8 thick. Let me check it out here. Let's flip this around. So here's what I bought on Amazon. It was like, I don't know, it wasn't too bad. It was like 11, 12 bucks. But here's the, oh, nice. There we go. Here, now it's, hey, it focused. So I bought 2 feet, 4 inches, actually came out 4 1/8. Cut 2 pieces, 4 3/8 long to fit right across there. Now I'll go put it on there and mark it and drill it. And that's where that is. And I'll show you where I'm at with that in a second. Because I'm sure it'll bang, hit, and rub when I get done. So that'll be cool. Not really, but. Alright, got the holes drilled. Got the bolts punched through. Let's grab the nuts. Wrench. Let's go put them on. Alright, got them bolted on. But I do see a mistake I made. I measured right here between the welds, which is right there, is 4 3/8. But I need to put the pad on the other side, and I could have went a little bit longer and filled that gap up. And as you can see, I could have been wider back there and read through a little better. But hey, we'll see how this lasts, and we can always make another one. Set. That's it for this thing. Let's go see how bad it hits. Actually, that first one didn't hit. And the second one didn't hit. Cool. Well, I wonder where the hell that guy went. Alright, that takes care of the snowblower.